In a recent interview, the Conservative leader alleged the RCMP have been covering up scandals under former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Poilievre claims those cases would have led to criminal charges and specifically references the SNC-Lavalin affair. The Trudeau government was accused of political interference in an ongoing criminal case against the Quebec-based construction company. On Thursday, Poilievre was asked if he thinks his criticism is appropriate and if he'd take up Commissioner Duham's offer to meet.
Yes and yes. Obviously, Justin Trudeau violated Section 121 of the Criminal Code when he accepted a $250,000 vacation from someone who had asked for him to give a $10 million government grant. The RCMP's own documents revealed that there were grounds to believe that fraud had happened. And yet, even though he broke the criminal code, the Mounties, the brass of the RCMP said that they could not, quote, productively pursue an investigation. If the RCMP commissioner is now saying that he wants to open that investigation, we're prepared to hand over all the evidence of Mr. Trudeau's criminal code violations.
And joining us now is Conservative strategist Mitch Heimpel. Good to see you, Mitch. Thanks for being here. What do you make of this latest move by Pierre Poilievre? Why do you think he's targeting the RCMP?
So I think if we look at the Public Order Emergency Commission and the Nova Scotia Mass Casualty Commission reports from the last couple of years, we can see that when Brenda Lucki was the commissioner of the RCMP, she felt a considerable amount of political pressure from the former Trudeau government. That's evidence from the documents that were produced at those two inquiries. It's definitely true that with the Conservative convention coming up in January, Justin Trudeau remains a piece of red meat that the Conservative base likes to get angry about. And there is no doubt some strategy at work to keep them motivated to show up in Calgary at the end of January and vote for Mr. Poilievre.
Do you think the line of attack coming from Poilievre is fair?
I think that the RCMP's management with the former commissioner in charge made some questionable decisions in terms of how it allowed evidence to support the government's gun policies. And I think that there's very obviously some political pressure with how Commissioner Lucki handled the convoy on Parliament Hill in 2022. I think it's fair to say that there was political pressure on the organization in those very two particular instances, and that the former commissioner did a poor job of managing an essential organization for the country.
Now, some Liberal strategists are welcoming this move, saying it's good for the Liberals every time Pierre Poilievre brings up Justin Trudeau. Your thoughts on that?
The Conservatives should keep their focus on Mark Carney, who's most likely to be their competition in the next election. Any evocation of Justin Trudeau makes Mark Carney look better by comparison. That is always going to be true.
Could the opposition leader be doing this to quell any possible opposition at his upcoming leadership review in January?
I think the Conservative base, when it's fired up, when it's motivated, and Justin Trudeau is still a very good motivator for those voters, donates more, volunteers more, and keeps the engine of the party running. And so I think keeping those voters motivated is essential for the Conservatives between elections.
Now, Dimitri Soudas, former high-ranking aide to former Prime Minister Stephen Harper, has called out these comments, saying in part that they undermine the confidence in our justice system. Do you agree?
I think that we have to keep in mind that the RCMP's management, as we understand it in Ottawa, can sometimes look like a bureaucracy trying to be a police force. But RCMP officers, thousands of them across the country, doing real police work in provinces like British Columbia and Alberta and Nova Scotia, are frontline officers that are important to keeping our communities safe. And there needs to be a distinction drawn between those two groups of people.
Mitch, we've run out of time. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
That is Mitch Heimpel, Conservative strategist, joining us from Belleville.